50 quotes from Michael Simmons. As long as you are aiming at happiness, you cannot obtain it. The more you make it a target, the more you miss the target. If you focus less on achievement for yourself and give yourself to a larger cause, then the more good things happen to you and the more you help others. At that moment that you are no longer concerned with becoming a happy or a successful man or a woman, at that moment happiness installs itself by itself. You get from the world what you give to the world. Isn't it considerable that, instead, life expects something from you? Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. If you want to be massively successful, do not set ambitious goals, according to studies. I'm now convinced that curating short-form video presents one of the best opportunities for thought leaders that has existed in the last 10 years. Editing video is way easier than you think. Social media algorithms love short-form video. Short-form video is a limited-time opportunity. Short-form video is engaging to consume. I now understand that once something unique works, the advantage you get from it disappears in 2 to 3 years. The reason is that once everyone knows that something works, there is a mad dash to do it. As a result, it gets crowded. Selling your sawdust. With this approach, you take the byproduct of your idea creation workflow that you normally throw away, and you turn it into its own product. Clipping the best ideas of the best experts helps you skip years of trial and error. Clipping videos is easier than producing your own. Clipping helps you take advantage of the celebrity effect. You can use clips to support your ideas. As a thought leader, you can think of each video that someone else has posted as an experiment. And you can think of YouTube as a platform that reveals the results of all of these experiments publicly. If you want to gain traction, a proven way is to borrow other people's celebrity. This is why blockbuster films have many celebrities, and it's why companies have celebrity spokespeople. It can take years to bridge the taste-talent gap. What this means is that you'll have enough taste to recognize that the quality of your work isn't up to what you'd like it to be. But, not enough talent to bridge the gap. If societal and individual productivity growth continues to plateau or decline, it could mean war, generational lifestyle stagnation, our currency going to zero over time, the rise of communism, environmental catastrophe, and stalling of innovation. The productivity paradox is arguably the most important puzzle that will determine the future of our society and our careers. More productivity doesn't mean less work for employees. Workers feel pressured to work harder even as they become more efficient. Workers aren't receiving the gains from their increased productivity. The gains in productivity are not redistributed to workers in a way they feel is fair. For many, productivity culture is a tool that the ruling class uses in the context of capitalism to get as much work out of workers as possible. The technologies, electricity, combustion engine, that came in the 20th century are much more impactful on our productivity than the computer revolution. The impact of the computer revolution is primarily on information, communication, and entertainment, while the 20th century revolutions were much more broad and had a bigger impact on our living standards. AI breakthroughs are followed by narratives about how AI is imminent and about to change everything. The reality is that the advance does have a major impact, but its impact is spread over many years or decades, thus impacting the productivity growth rate less than we might expect. On a personal level, whatever our goal is, meaning, happiness, aliveness, money, impact, connection, we want to get to it faster and easier with all else being equal. Ultimately, what we really want is a new kind of productivity. We want a kind of productivity that is actually more productive, more inclusive, leaves us time for an uninterrupted personal life, and ultimately feels better, more purpose, more fulfillment, more aliveness, and less hurry. We don't automatically become more productive just by doing the same thing over and over. Rather, once we become good enough, our performance typically plateaus. In academic circles, this is known as the OK plateau. The one big thing you can do first to develop an improvement mindset is to set aside 5 hours a week to deliberate learning, reflection, and experimentation. Warren Buffett has spent 80% of his time ever since he was a child just reading and thinking. Things constantly go wrong no matter how smart and hardworking you are. When people only fantasize about the future, they actually end up taking less action than they would if they also thought about what could go wrong and made plans to avoid it. Being both pessimistic and optimistic is better than just being optimistic. One of the best ways to win is not to lose. Ignorant mistakes happen when you don't know better. Stupid mistakes happen when you do know better. Warren Buffett and his 40-year business partner, Charlie Munger, don't attribute their success to raw intelligence or brilliant ideas. Instead, they attribute a large part of it to consistently avoiding stupid mistakes by religiously following basic tenets and ideas they know will work. Build deep relationships with people who have accomplished the goals you want to accomplish. By building relationships based on mutual trust and respect, where others want you to succeed, people share information they never would publicly. For more on this strategy, read Reid Hoffman's strategy. Entrepreneurs who can conduct more experiments will discover more new data and therefore have a big advantage. Jeff Bezos shows that big trends are only part of the story. It's also about doing the exact opposite and focusing on what does not change. It's impossible to imagine a future 10 years from now where a customer comes up and says, "Jeff, I love Amazon. I just wish the prices were a little higher," or, "I love Amazon. I just wish you deliver a little more slowly." Become the best in one core area by continually investing in it over time, rather than jumping from trend to trend and starting over each time. According to academic studies on storytelling, great stories transport others into a whole other world and, in doing so, alter their beliefs, cause a loss of access to real-world facts, evoke emotions, and significantly reduce their ability to detect inaccuracies. In the information age, one of the best ways to get information is not from just being better at searching Google. It's from learning how to build a network and get the information you need through that network, Hoffman says. Hoffman refers to the information that only exists in people's heads as the dark net. This includes information that is not searchable online, in any book, or in any classroom and never will be. Be extremely picky about whom you spend a lot of time around. No matter how successful you are, building deep relationships still takes a lot of time. So, it's critical to turn relationship building into a habit. If there is even a tiny chance that doing something could destroy you, it's a very bad idea. The only way to protect yourself from failure is to not try, or to not try anything hard at least, both of which are sure and direct routes to mediocrity. The only way you can achieve anything big is by daring to try big things, and if you do that, failure is inevitable. Elon Musk puts it, "If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough." We should all learn across multiple fields in order to increase our odds of breakthrough success.